KREM 2 News at Noon begins now.
Right now in KREM 2 News at Noon, the nominees for vice president meet for their only debate. Here where the two disagreed and how voters thought they both did.
We have a pretty nice day for this afternoon, albeit a little bit cooler than yesterday, but we are tracking a rather cold night tonight and a windier day for this Friday.
All right, we continue to take a closer look at Gonzaga's move to the Pac-12, hear what it means for the school and for the athletes themselves. Hi, everyone. It is good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin by going outside today. Most people know at this point it's been a little bit cooler out there. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick can let us know what to expect. Hi, Thomas.
Yeah, hey there, Laura. Cooler, but nice thanks to all the sunshine that we still have for today. So it should be another awesome afternoon for us. Really, I'm a lot more focused on just some of our active weather for the end of the week, which the first of which will be a rather colder night tonight. Remember back on Monday morning where we woke up to temperatures in the 30s? That, I think, will be replicated by this evening because, yes, it is cooler, only by a few degrees as of right now, as it is still in the low 60s at the moment. But last night we did have a cold front pass through. It's pretty much dissipated, but I did want to still indicate it as it just lingered over Oregon and Idaho. But it cleared through the region earlier this morning. But it usually takes about 24 hours for the full effect of some colder air to really seep and settle on in. So that will be felt tomorrow morning. These are the expected low temperatures back into the mid 30s between Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And I do think there will be some 20s yet again in our northern areas. Not uncommon, but definitely cooler than it has been recently, safer again this past Monday morning. I think it'll be pretty close to that. Now, while this is the coldest point of the forecast, we still have plenty of warm days ahead. Still looking at this early October outlook, which features plenty of 70s by next week. But I do have one fairly windy day for this upcoming Friday. So like I said, the end of this week, I think, is going to be a little bit active for our region. We'll go in details over that next storm system in just a few minutes.
Republican Senator J.D. Vance and Democratic Governor Tim Walz are both back campaigning today in crucial swing states. This, of course, following last night's debate. The two struck a mostly cordial tone as they split on issues ranging from the economy to abortion. Jared Hill reports now from New York.
Republican Senator J.D. Vance headed to the battleground state of Michigan Wednesday, following last night's vice presidential debate.
Tim just said something that I agree with. I agree with a lot of what Senator Vance said.
The nominees were overwhelmingly civil as they sparred over topics including the economy.
Kamala Harris has said to do the things she wants to do, we'll just ask the wealthiest to pay their fair share.
When people say that Donald Trump's economic plan doesn't make sense, I say look at the record. He delivered rising take-home pay for American workers.
And immigration.
We have a historic immigration crisis because Kamala Harris started and said that she wanted to undo all of Donald Trump's border policies.
We had the fairest and the toughest bill on immigration that this nation's seen. But as soon as I was getting ready to pass and actually tackle this, Donald Trump said no, told them to vote against it because it gives him a campaign issue.
On abortion, Vance made this admission.
My party, we've got to do so much better of a job at earning the American people's trust back on this issue where they frankly just don't trust us.
But Democratic Governor Tim Walz criticized Republican arguments that the issue should be left up to the states.
How can we as a nation say that your life and your rights, as basic as the right to control your own body, is determined on geography?
There were some tense moments, especially in a back and forth over former President Trump's refusal to accept the results of the 2020 election.
Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future.
That is a damning non-answer.
A new CBS News poll showed viewers were nearly split on who they think won the debate, with both men seeing their favorability ratings go up. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Also, later this month, KREM 2 is hosting a 5th District congressional debate with the two candidates hoping to replace Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers. So candidates Carmela Conroy and Michael Bumgardner will be here in the KREM 2 studio coming up on Wednesday, October 30th. The hour-long and commercial-free debate starts at 7 o'clock that evening, and it'll be on KREM 2, KSKN 22, and KREM 2 Plus, along with KREM.com. All right, coming in new at noon. Some good news for basketball fans. The NCAA men's basketball tournament, it is coming back here to Spokane. The NCAA making the announcement just a few hours ago. The tournament will return to the Spokane Arena coming up in 2027. Spokane will host the first and second round of the games. The University of Idaho will serve as the host school. The men's tournament came to Spokane earlier this year, and it will host the women's tournament coming up next March. All right, and certainly more college basketball news that is coming in new at noon. The Gonzaga men's basketball team has released its full schedule for the upcoming season. So Zag fans, listen up. The Zags will host an exhibition with Warner Pacific on October 30th before opening the season coming up on November 4th against Baylor. That game will be played at Spokane Arena. Other non-conference games here in Spokane include visits from Arizona State, UMass Lowell, Long Beach State, Nicholls State, and Bucknell. The Zags will also play a pretty tough early matchup against San Diego State, Kentucky, UConn, and UCLA. You can get the look at the full schedule. It's posted right now on KREM.com. And of course, that schedule announcement just coming one day after we learned Gonzaga will indeed be joining the Pac-12. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has a closer look at what the move means for the Zags.
Well, I mean, ultimately, this is the beginning of a new era for not only Gonzaga, but for Spokane as well. Of course, we've heard rumblings over the last few years about what would the Zags do in terms of their future conference play. Well, we now know they'll be joining the Pac-12, leaving the WCC, but still playing out here on the West Coast was a big factor in making this decision. Yesterday, we learned that as well in the press conference, because we've seen so many different schools over these last few years be impacted by conference realignment, with schools on the Pacific Coast even committing to conference play across the country. GU President Thane McCullough spoke on that and the importance of a strong regional situation.
The question time and time again is, what is the impact going to be on the student-athlete experience? And I mean that both in terms of athletic opportunity, but also academic opportunity.
And KREM 2's Andrew Quinn also asked both the president and sports director about the financial impact of the move to the Pac-12 as well.
This is a better situation for us financially, without question. It is an opportunity for us to invest more directly in our student athletes and create a more robust experience for them.
So the Zags will have one more year in the WCC. GU will officially join the Pac-12 on July 1st, 2026. Also keep in mind that the Pac-12 is not done making moves as their rebuild continues. The conference still needs to add one more school with a football program to legally remain a conference according to NCAA rule. They'll have until 2026 to do that, but we'll keep a close eye on what could be next, and of course that move could be coming soon, especially with all the new moves that have been happening over the course of these last 2 weeks. But for now, reporting here near GU's campus, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Plus, if you want to watch Gonzaga's full press conference about the move to the Pac-12, all you need to do is head on over to KREM 2 Plus. KREM 2 Plus is free to download on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Lots of good content over there. All right, still ahead on KREM 2 News at noon. As President Biden tours the damage from Hurricane Helene today, we are getting a unique look at the efforts to help people that are still trapped following the storm.